How's it going? Here we go for another round. Morning, JD. How's that? How's that light peaberry treating you? Aaron, how's it going? Carol, another day. I gotta enjoy it. Sometimes I get stressed out, but I just gotta remember where I am. Don't do it, Becky. Don't do it. Nope, we don't flavor our coffee here. We only do. We only do black, grown in Hawaii. Do whole bean black coffee grown in Hawaii. We don't do anything else. And that's just a choice that I made. You know, Everyone else has coffee from all over my own coffee. Otherwise, what am I even really doing? So, if you are joining me for the first time, I am Kona coffee farmer. Been farming Kona coffee for 13 years now. Appreciate that, Jim Bob. And um, our coffee is different. The reason why Hawaiian coffee is different is because of the active volcano, because of our climate, where we have an active volcano. This volcano is constantly replenishing the soil with micronutrients, adding ash into the rainwater. So our rainwater is actually acidic. And because that they don't have very much bitterness to them and they're going to be very sweet if they're ripe. But that's the second half of the equation is our coffee is also picked over ripe. We're only picking the coffee that has the biggest beans, picking the coffee that's deep red, purple, or brown. And so the beans do grow larger than beans from anywhere else in the world. And the larger bean gonna mean, sorry, the larger beans are gonna be smoother, right? I don't have good signal here. Give me a sec, guys. You just move half a foot and you get better signal. Not today. Anyway, so our coffee is gonna be richer and smoother because the beans are larger. You get more oils in them. But the reason why it's not bitter and it's not sour at all is actually because of how we pick it. So most of the world's coffee is picked with a machine. And when you pick coffee with a machine, something like 20% of the beans are going to be unripe. And unripe coffee tastes like any other unripe fruit. It's going to be sour, bitter. Oh, cool. Did you come to Rooster Farms Walnut? Mustang? Yeah, it really comes down to the picking because we only pick the coffee overripe. We wait for the coffee to come deep red, purple, or brown before picking it. We wait for it to become soft and ready to fall off the trees, and as a result of that, the beans are way riper than they are from other regions. So if you guys are getting acid reflux or indigestion every time you drink coffee, you're thinking about, giving coffee up, before you do that, you might want to try drinking our coffee. Because if you give coffee up, you're actually giving up one of the few things that are actually maybe keeping you alive. Coffee is actually really healthy. I used to look at coffee like it was a vice, like it was something I had to give up, like it was a cigarette. And maybe your extra dark roasts, you know, are kind of like a cigarette, but your lighter roasts are actually probably one of the only things keeping you alive. Coffee has fiber in it. It's got this compound which promotes the growth of butyric acid fermenting bacteria, which dies as you get older. And people have found that once that bacteria dies, you start aging rapidly. That bacteria generates hydrogen, which is like the strongest and most, maybe the most universal antioxidant. And that's most of it's generated in your gut. So you can take hydrogen pills, but if you can't generate hydrogen in your gut, you start to have serious problems. How do you like the medium Mac the knife? Our coffee is organically grown. We don't spray with any chemical pesticides. We're using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria. Yes. Well, mm, yeah, well, that's a lot. Sorry, guys, that was the wife. That is. She does the morning complaint. There, I'm back. Anyway, so it's all my fault. It's all my fault. The coffee was too loud. Last show I ended, I said, people, usually narcissistic people who think they're the smartest, always think people who are smarter than them are crazy. Right, I said that, left it with the show, maybe pissed some people off. Like, are you calling me stupid? But then I realized I'm always calling my wife crazy. So that means I must be stupid. So sometimes you make these generalizations. I do have a nice ceiling fan. All right, guys. So this is the dark estate. The estate coffee. The estate coffee is a lot sweeter than what you probably expect. The dark estate tastes like a toasted caramel. It can be a little bit lighter than what you guys are used to dark coffee tasting like because we don't have the bitterness or the sourness. You know, I realized I don't want to talk about it. It was actually all just completely Anyway, coffee. Kitty Mindo, how you doing? There's some things I gotta be stupid about. All right, so estate coffee is the first grade of coffee that is 100% Kona, which means it's less than 10% defects. Um, the beans have to be above 16/64 of an inch. Those are the two things that define estate coffee. And it has to be hand-picked. That's the key. Our coffee is hand-picked. So if you guys are getting acid reflux or indigestion every time you drink your coffee, you're actually drinking the bitterness and sourness of the people who picked the coffee. And that goes right into your cup. It hurts your stomach. It eats away your stomach lining, gives you the shits. Because those people are getting paid typically $1 per 100 pounds of coffee that they pick, which is $1 per 10,000 coffee beans. And if you're getting paid like that, you're going to be picking whatever coffee comes off the trees. You're going to be picking pinks, red, oranges. And if you look on YouTube, you're going to see people picking their coffee red, orange. Whereas we're picking our coffee deep red, purple, or brown. We're waiting 4 to 6 weeks longer for the coffee to ripen. And our coffee, as a result, it's like picking your own berries, picking your own strawberries, only picking the overripe ones, picking your own oranges from your own backyard. So that's really what makes this coffee so sweet. And this coffee tastes like a toasted caramel dark chocolate. Not sour, not bitter, won't hurt your stomach, won't give you acid reflux. Hard to believe. Everyone expects coffee to be bitter and sour, depending on your roast. You expect dark roast to be bitter, you expect a light roast to be sour, but actually, they're going to be neither sour nor bitter. The medium roast, this one's the best one for espresso, and this one tastes like a chocolate covered raisinette. Cyril, which brew are you making? You saw the roaster video? Nice. I'm gonna try to do more of those. Dark roast. Hawaiian, probably. So this medium roast, really good for espresso. Tastes like a chocolate covered raisin, a little bit of brown sugar. All of our coffee is just extremely sweet. So if you've never had Kona coffee before and you're wondering how different can coffee be, it is significantly different. It's different enough that you're gonna have a tough time going back to other coffees. And the reason for that again is how we pick the coffee. Um, you shouldn't have any sourness no matter how you make this coffee. So that really comes down to bad coffee. If you have bad coffee, definitely those ratios matter a lot because bad coffee has a lot of acidity in it. And so you're kind of, as a roaster, you kind of, as you roast coffee darker, the sourness turns into bitterness. It's like my wife. She started out sour, now she's bitter. Extra fancy dark, yes, nice. But if you, hey Kitty, I'm gonna try to get yours out today. I'm gonna pack up some of the orders myself. I don't know exactly what's going on. But we do have some orders from that week that are still having trouble getting packed. But you don't need the creamer, you don't need the sugar. But I'll look into that myself, Kitty, today, make sure it goes out. Sorry about that. Yeah, we had a few people like that. You don't need cream, you don't need sugar. The cream covers up the bitterness, the sugar covers up the sourness. But we pick our coffee so ripe, there's no bitterness, there's no sourness, just like a brown banana, right? You're not gonna have any bitterness, not gonna have any sourness. So that's really what it comes down to. It's how ripe we pick our coffee. Same thing with the lack of acid reflux, the lack of indigestion comes from just having coffee that isn't bitter and isn't sour at all. You want 2 pound bags of nuts. We don't have, I can give you two I see. Okay, you bought them. Cool. Thanks, Deltron. She's gonna get me. She already got me. She blames me for everything, but it's okay. That's just how covert. We don't need to talk about it. It's fine. So we got four roasts and a bunch of grades. We have a Hawaiian coffee, which is the least dense beans, slightly smaller beans, but also very nice. Then we have the Kona coffee, which are beans that are just starting to become perfect. No chips, no crack, inch or above. The beans will be smoother and even more buttery, more complex because it's a denser bean. We also have a pea berry, which is the kind of the cream of the crop. It takes 100 pounds of regular coffee to make 1 pound of pea berry. So the pea berry coffee just gives you the best flavor, best, but the most complex. The coffee tends to be sweeter, whereas the pea tends to be smoother. The pea berry is the hardest one to find. Yeah, the other day at the roaster, I inhaled all that smoke and I was like so paranoid the whole time. Afterwards, coffee smoke can make you really paranoid. Got your honey? Did it break? It made it? Hope it made it. It made it. Phew. And I have some more orders from you. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why the Packers can't. Might be because we're missing some items and they're holding it till we have it. So the pea berry is the densest. The beans is twice as dense as your regular coffee. And so if you're really just looking to get a sample of coffee to find the best coffee that we have, you don't want to cut corners and just get good coffee, but you're getting the Hawaiian. You're not trying to drink this coffee every day. You just want to know what really good coffee tastes like. I would get the pea berry. I would say that's the extra fancy is up there too. So those are kind of tied, depending on if you like your coffee sweeter or you like your coffee smoother. And the pea berry we have in right now we only have a medium and a dark. All of our coffee was roasted within the week, and that's also why the coffee is a lot richer. It doesn't hasn't lost its fresh roasted flavor yet. It's a lot smoother. And then the sweeter, how we pick it. We pick the coffee, and as a result of that, there's just no bitterness, no sourness. Caitlin, your honey, I'm gonna send out today. We had to put them in two flat rate boxes. Fresh turmeric, and then you can grind it. The other way to do it is you can use it fresh, peel it, throw it into your fresh fruit juices. You can slice it into little pieces and boil it in water. I don't have any more honey right now. I'm seeing how it ships, and if it ships okay, then I will get another batch. So the pea berry, we also have that in dark, and the dark pea berries are really big. For a pea berry, most of the time pea berries are very small, but our pea berries are like the biggest ones in the world. And the dark pea berry will be extremely rich and smooth. Flavor profile is almost the same as our other coffees, but just it doesn't have that chocolate covered raisin flavor of the medium pea berry. It's just toasted caramel, dark chocolate. And the dark roast that we have, it truly is, it's sweeter than dark chocolate. It's so sweet. Our coffee is so sweet. It's crazy. I'm just drinking it for the first time again. Just no bitterness. When you mix it with other coffees, it even takes away from that sweetness. It's just so sweet. It's like a brown sugar sweetness. It's incomparable. It's almost like I added an entire packet of brown sugar into this coffee. People even ask me, "Do you coat your coffee with sugar?" And it's like, definitely not. But it's easy to think that because they're fancy. Um, we got this extra fancy grade, which is less than 1% defects. It's perfect. It's perfect coffee. And then the white coffee is coffee that's roasted so light that it's still raw. Compound in it called methylamine, which is the meth part of meth. There isn't methamphetamine in the coffee, but there is that precursor, and that's why it gives you the buzz. The white coffee I specifically formulated. Is it choppy? Sorry, my signal isn't great right now. I can't leave my room. It's too noisy. How's this? Any better? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so the white coffee is the strongest of the buzz. This white coffee still tastes a lot like coffee because we've been doing this one in the drum roaster. And so you saw yesterday that drum roaster puts out all this smoke, and that smoke gets into the coffee, so just it brings out the flavor, but it's still just as light, just as white. And so if you want to buzz, if you want to just get start, I don't know, you really feel it in your bones and your joints, your muscles. It just supports everything. All of the antioxidants, polyphenols in the coffee is just fully intact. It hasn't been roasted away. As you roast coffee darker, all of the healthy compounds in coffee basically caramelize into flavor, but you lose a lot of the potency. You lose a lot of the health benefits. You lose the, I don't know, the muscle support, the joint support. After that one cup of coffee, I feel like there's a light breeze passing over my body. That's the kind of buzz. No, that's me. That's me. I'm I'll have to move positions in a little bit. So if you're looking just for like the pure buzz of the coffee, you don't really care for the dark roasted flavor. You want a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more nuttiness, kind of a beaniness of coffee. I would definitely try the white coffee. White coffee was first brought to us by the Dutch brothers in 2014, and they do this coffee in espresso. I don't think their white coffee is nearly as sweet as ours, but they did, introduce this coffee. And go there if you have a Dutch Brothers buy, you order a white coffee, they pull it with an espresso. Definitely worth trying. This coffee just gives you a massive buzz, and it's so healthy. Since drinking this white coffee, all I want to do is eat beans. Like, coffee actually feeds this gut bacteria that makes you uh, that only beans feed. And so you're growing this bacteria in your stomach. That's how you adjust your appetite is you got to feed the bacteria that craves certain foods. And this coffee, when you drink it black, actually does that. It's pretty amazing. You get cut, you get stronger. You don't, your pain goes. I don't want to say that, but it supports anti-inflammation, supports your joints, supports your skin. It's actually really good for your skin, all sorts of stuff. They actually extract this compound trigonylene out of coffee, puts it in a pill, and it's like $100 for 90 pills, but all you need to do is drink coffee every day to get it. So you actually don't need to, you don't really need to take supplements. It's an NAD booster, natural NAD booster, and you really just, it helps with life a lot. That's to make up for that delay, Aaron. Helps with life a lot. So I've switched over to the white coffee. It's just, since switching over to the white coffee, I've been streaming for like 6 hours a day. I used to only stream 1 or 2 hours, and even that was hard. But like now I could stream 6 hours a day. It definitely makes you feel a little drunk though. So you gotta be a little bit careful. Don't drink and drive on this. Yesterday when I drank that big cup of white coffee, you saw me. I couldn't stand up straight. Little things like that. So I guess I specifically formulated the white coffee to get myself kind of high. I'm that kind of person that's just, but I'm not, I can't drink alcohol because I'm allergic, so that's ruled out. I don't want to be doing hard drugs, and then I'm not allowed to smoke weed anymore, so that's ruled out. So I made this coffee specifically so that I would get a high. And originally I only made the light roast to do that. Even that, our light roast coffee is going to give you a buzz. Light roast coffee does taste like coffee. It's gonna give you 2 or 3 times the buzz of your dark roast, and the buzz I'm talking about is, like, it's in your head too, it's in your body, everything just feels light, airy, feels like a light, cool breeze passed over your body, really kinda cool, but the buzz that it gives you is also this head buzz, like, you feel like you got like, right now, everything in my voice is, like, extra booming because I just started drinking this white coffee. You put on music, and it's just, like, pumping. It's like it's surprising that coffee can do that. But so if you guys like getting buzzed like me, then the light roast, the white coffee, that's the way to go. It's dark in the my wife is like a meth head. Oh my god. All right, so I have to go push my wife. I don't know if I perfected it, but I have to go give my wife a massage. So here's what I'm gonna do. Oh my god, she's like that fucking meth head. I need it now. I need it now, please. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 2 pounds of white at a $1 start. I gotta go. So I'm gonna do a 10-minute auction. 2 pounds of white at a $1 start. Do they have 10-minute auctions? I'll do a 5-minute auction here, guys. So here we go. You guys can bid on this while I go give her a massage. 2 pounds of the white gives you that buzz. Oh my god. 2 pounds for 71. All right, guys. Sorry for that delay. Samden, I had to raise the price of the OG. Or lower the weight. Honey made it, thank God. All right, I'm gonna get some more. How many did you order, Samden? Nice. We got some decent Packers then. White coffee's good. It really gets you going. Adjust your attitude. Everything's okay. You tell me to give you a massage. I'm gonna go give you a massage. Everything's great. Yep. What else do I shouldn't have ousted yourself? I just made it. 7 pounds of coffee is a lot. Drink that coffee. Well, at least it made it past. It really is retail 180 bucks. So you guys are getting. I'm making like 10 bucks on these. I just lowered it to 12 ounces. It's I always don't take into account that you lose 20% of your bean density when you roast it and whatnot takes after all factoring all the giveaways and all the stuff. Anyway, just it's a lot. MF Doc, you missed where I had to go give my wife a massage. You missed a 5-minute massage auction. God, hopefully you're doing okay, MF Doc. Yourself. It's not easy out there. Not easy. And I even think there's organized gangs who they told me on my face that they try to infantilize women like my wife, so they make it so. Anyway, it's not easy out there. You're there in spirit. Yep, I'm with you. Anyway, all right. So I'm glad. I'm good. I'm good. I'm used to this. This is good. These are good days. These are good days, guys. I know I complain a lot, but these are the good days. All right. No, I'm on the upswing. Feeling good. All right. Let's go back to the top. So if you guys are just joining me, my name's Ed. I'm coming to you live from Hawaii here. The slopes of Mauna Loa. I'm at the shore. I'm not at the farm right now. I'll be at the farm later. I spend some days at the farm, some days. Sometimes I have to, it's a trade-off. I don't like to stay in town, so half the week I sleep at the farm, and when I'm at the farm, it's just peaceful. But then I like to hang out with my family. But then anytime I'm here, my wife is just always asking me to do things. It's like I'm like a drug. I'm like her cocaine or something. Every 5 minutes she needs something because she's out. She's like I'm like crack. And if she doesn't get it, goes into withdrawal. She's like, I need it now. She's a massage crack addict, I think. It's alright. But I hate that. I hate people who like need something so badly right now, right now. It's like people who ask me for money like that. I'm just like, I can't do business with you anymore. I'm just like, I can't. I can't. This isn't why I moved to Hawaii. Anyway, let's do some more samples of that white coffee. White coffee just makes everything better. It really does. It makes everything better. Makes life better. Makes life bearable. Makes you happy. Although if you drink much of it, you're gonna get messed up. So don't of it like I did. It'll completely screw you up. Uh, I'm low on signal here. Gotta raise it a little bit. You'll still be able to get it for good deals though. OG is like the least the least dense. I just lowered the size to 12 ounces rather than a pound. I had to. Everything is tight and dope. So that's just what I gotta do. I'm sorry, guys, but you'll still be able to get it for those cheap prices. You'll still be able to get it for super cheap when I mess up. Doesn't even matter what price I put it at, honestly. But okay, guys. Sorry, I'm just coming back. Same price for 12 ounce. I have it listed for the same price, which is 20. Probably gonna be, flash sale 18. Probably get it for whatever. Super cheap. All right. Kona is bigger beans. The OG is the smaller beans. Kona is also cleaner beans, so there's almost no defects. I think, I don't know exactly, but we already ship most of our packages using ground. And for us, ground gets there the same amount of time because it's still airmail, so it shouldn't affect things too much. You might not get these bundle deals where like after a certain price you get free shipping. I think it's just you already got that. Yeah. So all right, so let's start from the top. I'll just go through each of my items. So, we have a Kona grade coffee. The pea berry is the cream of the crop. It takes 100 pounds of our coffee to produce 1 pound of pea berry. These pea berries are denser, they're smoother, they're the best beans for making something like an espresso. So if you guys are espresso fans, I would say get the pea berry. You're gonna you're gonna just get some of the sweetest, smoothest coffee, the most complex in flavor. You have this fermented honey flavor to it. So if you're looking for just like if you're not trying to drink this coffee every day, you just want to know what really good coffee tastes like, really complex coffee. What is it that people, you know, are talking about when they're talking about a coffee that scores above a 90? This is it, the pea berry. You will want to drink it every day. It's almost like a candy coffee, right? It's just so sweet. You don't have to add cream or sugar to it. Doesn't hurt your stomach. Doesn't give you acid reflux, and that's because of how we pick the coffee. We only pick the coffee by hand. We only pick the coffee when it's deep red, purple, or brown, when it's ready to fall off the trees to the touch. And so, just like any other fruit, Candy Cottage, thanks for the raid. Just like any other fruit, um, when you pick any fruit too early, it's going to be sour and bitter. If you wake up every morning and you religiously eat, you know, unripe strawberries or religiously drink orange juice made from sour oranges, you're going to hurt your stomach. So you shouldn't be wondering, why do I have a stomach ache? And it's not that coffee's bad for you. Coffee isn't like smoking a cigarette. And give the Candy Cottage a follow. She looks like she sells candy. Thanks. Just call me Tony. Thanks for the raid. Feel free to plug yourself if you want. Tell us a little bit of what you do. But yeah, if you guys have a sweet tooth, just this is just, it's like an ice wine. Crayon. How do you say it? I can't hear you, so it doesn't help. So this is truly like a candied coffee. It's like an ice wine, but depends on which part of the country you're from, right? I'm from the north, so that's just cran. It depends. It always depends. And the ice wines have no, yeah, they don't have any bitters. They don't have any sourness. And the same reason. It's because the grapes were picked right before the frost, to the very last minute, so all the sugars have been allowed to develop it. Once you get towards the end of the ripeness of any fruit, every day that you let that fruit ripen means just so much more sugar. That last week you get maybe more sugar than the month before. So every single day makes a huge difference. Just like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown. Every single day you let that fruit ripen just makes a huge difference. Coffee doesn't ripen once it's off the tree, so you just gotta let it sit there And for us, we let it sit until the next time it rains, it's gonna fall off the tree. So you gotta that's the biggest challenge of picking this coffee is getting your labor together, going out there and picking the coffee right when it's ripe. So the way we pick the coffee is when we see that first berry turn brown, we'll go out. We'll try to get the people together, go out, run our hands along the branches, and we take whatever coffee falls off the touch. We're almost like sweeping the trees. It's just this very light touching. And the coffee that doesn't come off, it's not ripe enough. So there is a skill, there's a discipline. If your employees or yourself are trying to pick for volume, your coffee is going to be more sour. If and there is sour coffee in Hawaii, in Kona, and there is so you do want to pick farm to farm. Our coffee's coming specifically from South Kona. Um, Even my farm and all these farms are managed by this one guy. There's a few independent, but we're all kind of the same mindset because the neighbors are watching. When I first moved here, I was picking my coffee kind of red orange, and the neighbors were watching. And they rolled by, looked in my picking basket, and they yell at me and tell me I'm ruining Kona coffee. You're gonna be like, Tom, don't screw this up, you know, on and on and on and on. Whereas when I went to a different part of the Kona, they would tell me, oh, it doesn't matter if you pick your coffee 4 weeks early because it's been sitting on the tree for 9 months. The seed is already mature, but you drink that coffee, it's sour and bitter. So some people like sour and bitter. Some people like the bite. But for us, the neighbors are watching. You know, in the south, it's actually a little bit more crowded. It's the farms are smaller, so everyone talks, who's got that bad coffee, and you don't want to be that guy. So you got to pick your coffee right, and that's what it comes down to. The pea berry is only 1% of our crop, so it's the by far the most expensive coffee. People are charging you $56 for 7 ounces in the store, and then you still can't even find it. So it's very hard to find this coffee. You know, depending on the season, people even charge you like $50 for a pound of green unroasted coffee. So it's just really the prices are all over the place. You end up paying a lot for pea berry. On other platforms, people are charging $110 a pound if you buy 5 pounds at a time. So it's just, pea berry is something that you can get charged a lot or something like this. Um, but it is the cream of the crop. It's the highest scoring coffee. It's the most complex. You even get this kind of honey flavor to it, bees honey flavor. So it's a unique item. We don't always have it. We've had it consistently for the last few months, but I don't know if that be the case. We'll probably have it for a few more months because we're starting to get new coffee. So I think this slowdown in the economy is part of the reason why Peaberry is a little bit more available. So if you have the money, it's worth it. The rest of our coffee is almost as good as Peaberry, but like any luxury product, that additional margin is going to cost you like 2 times more. But there is a significant difference. You can taste it. A lot of times, though, some of the taste differences you guys are noting might be because we're using drum roasters, we're like using air roasters, so our coffee is not going to be completely consistent from batch to batch. Um, we try our best, but a drum roaster, the coffee is going to come out a little bit different than the air roaster. That's part of the. They're all going to be really good. They're all going to be sweet. They're all going to be guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or digestion. But there will be some variation. Um, Crayon. This is our white extra fancy. Now, so I was saying, white coffee is the one that's going to give you an extremely strong buzz, like extreme. It just beyond what you'd expect from coffee. Where to the point where I'm feeling a little drunk when I drink it. You know, if I'm shit faced when I wake up, within 10 minutes of drinking this, I'm just like, and that's because coffee has this other compound called trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene at 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. And it's also trigonylene by itself, before it becomes that, is methylated niacin, also becomes niacin. So there's some pathway where you can convert niacin to methylamine. There's all sorts of stuff you can do in chemistry, but that's where the buzz in coffee comes from. It's not the caffeine. It's actually this other compound, trigonylate. So the white coffee is just, and the extra fancy white is the highest grade of our coffee. About 5% of our coffee comes out as extra fancy, and the extra fancy is less than 1% defects. That's the key. Is it doesn't have any defects at all. It is from coffee. Yeah, you're still allowed to, still allowed to drink it. And that's why I made it this coffee white, because I'm not allowed to drink, I can't drink just from being Asian. So alcohol doesn't work on me, or it does work, it works too well. I turn red and I get itchy. So I can't drink alcohol, maybe for the better. You do? Well, maybe it's probably for the better, honestly. And then the, um, I'm not allowed to smoke weed anymore. You turn brown. I'm not allowed to smoke weed. And I used to be the biggest pothead in the world. We probably never met a pothead as big as me. I was like setting records, but not allowed to do that anymore. So I actually formulated the coffee specifically because I looked into coffee chemistry. I found out I'm banned by my wife. I actually quit by myself, and then she wouldn't let me get. But she was like, "You're so much better when you're not high all the time." So get back on the weed. Yeah, she's not telling me that. I'm not gonna do that, Kitty. I'm not gonna oppose my wife. You said no. Funny. I quit by myself one day. I just went on a vacation and I forgot my weed, and I was like, I still feel high. Like, what's going on? And yeah, so I formulated this to get me high. I looked into coffee's chemistry. I saw that there's this methylamine, which I looked into methylamine. It's this it's this psychoactive compound. I was like, and trigonylene is another alkaloid. Alkaloids are things like nicotine, caffeine, cocaine. All those things are alkaloids. All the best things in life or the worst things in life. And so I formulated specifically to be able to give me this buzz. And originally it was the light roast. Even our light roast, people I was asking to help me roast would be like, "Are we allowed to roast coffee this light?" It's like, yes. So even the light roast can give you a buzz that's 2 or 3 times stronger. That's different in quality than the dark roast. But the white coffee, then one of you guys actually asked me about white coffee, and then I looked into it. I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. I don't know if it's gonna taste good though." But I tasted it. It tastes like a it doesn't quite taste like coffee, but it's really strong, and you get a body high from it. Like, it's also, you can also tell it's really healthy. It actually stimulates your appetite for vegetables. Ironically, for beans. Like, since I've been drinking the white coffee, all I want to do is eat beans. I've gotten all these beans, and I just eat beans all the time. The white Hawaiian is the lower grade of coffee, so there's more defects in it, whereas the white the white extra fancy has, like, it's less than 1% defects. It's just, let's see, I'm gonna run out of this. It's just the perfect beans and the biggest beans. So the practical effect, because they taste almost the same. The practical effect is that uh if I drink 4 cups of white coffee, extra fancy, before I really just need to curl up in a ball, I believe this coffee makes you want to eat vegetables too. You can only drink 3 cups of the Hawaiian coffee before you want to curl up in a ball. So that's the difference. 1 cup of white coffee, you're just gonna be feeling good. There isn't really a crash, so you're just gonna kind of get brain fog. When you come down, you get really tired. Whereas, are you guys all gonna start drinking green coffee? Oh my god, you guys are crackheads. You guys are crackheads. So the white coffee gets you flying. Whereas if you're not trying to get high off your coffee, and most of you probably aren't, or maybe most of you are, I don't know. The dark roast is the way to go. The dark roasted coffee, you do all your errands, yeah. The green coffee isn't psychotropic though, right? The green coffee, it's almost like weed. You have to decarb it in a way. You have to convert the trigonally into methylamine for you to start getting these psychotropic effects. So the green coffee is just pure trigonylene. You will get that body high. You're gonna get the increase in strength. So so trigonylene actually makes your muscles stronger. That's part of the reason why you just get up and start doing things because like you don't it should be it should be above the weight. Some of it's like really above the weight. So that's our dark coffee there. Um, I'll do one of these on a bid, $1 for 2 ounce sample of the dark Hawaiian. The dark Hawaiian, even the dark Hawaiian is gonna give you more of a different kind of buzz than your other coffees. That's right. Yep. In Ethiopia, there's a farmer that goats would eat this fruit and they'd go crazy. Oh, you want to try the ultra white? I'm gonna have to talk to my roaster about that. We'll see what he thinks. So even our dark coffees, you're gonna notice it's a different quality of a buzz because our coffee, if you get anxiety, you get the jitters from coffee. That's usually due to mold in the coffee and pesticides. So we don't spray our coffee with any chemical pesticides. That's part of the reason why we can roast our coffee so light. When you have pesticides, you got to cook those away. When you have mold, you got to cook those away. We don't have either. It's fresh. We don't spray with any chemical pesticides, so we can roast it very, very, very light, and it won't give you the jitters. Those jitters are coming from pesticides and the mold. If you guys ever had mushrooms, you know that anxiety that comes when you eat mushrooms. That's the same anxiety you're actually getting from coffee, right? That kind of vibration. You ever drink coffee and the lines in the room start vibrating? That's actually mushrooms. That's mold. That's what mold does to you. That's what magic mushrooms do to you. So when you get that jitteriness, when you get the anxiety, when you get the panic that comes from coffee, a lot of times that's actually the mold that's processed the caffeine into mold caffeine. It's a mold activated caffeine, and that does not feel good. And mold gets onto the coffee in different stages. You can get mold on the green coffee, and that's why a lot of coffees have to be roasted so dark. Then yeah, thanks, Kitty. Appreciate that. Then you have mold from so if you have mold on the green coffee, and I've had green coffee that has mold on it, and I've had Kona coffee that had mold on it. If you roast that any lighter than dark, you can taste the mold. You can taste it in your mouth, and that's where coffee breath comes from. It's the mold. Then you get the jitters. Then when you get to the roasting part, if you let the coffee sit on the shelf for too long, it's going to get moldy, right? Just like any other grain. Coffee, you want to look at it like a grain. We dry it to the same moisture level as grain, so it's very much like grain. It even smells like a grain. Smells like a flower. Smells like a corn. Thanks, Big Dump. Appreciate that. And that's why coffee makes you take a big dump. You ever do mushrooms and you gotta take that big dump right when the mushrooms kick in. Same with coffee. It's not the caffeine. Yeah, the caffeine a little bit, but it's not the caffeine that makes you go take that big dump. It's the mold. Sorry, big dump. I just your name reminded me of the big dump that you take. So, moldy coffee, guys, you gotta stay. So if you're taking that big dump, if you're getting coffee breath, if you're getting the jitters, that that's not from that's not from the coffee. That's from moldy coffee. The shelf life of coffee you guys are buying in the store is 18 months from when it was roasted. So if your Best By date is September 2026, that coffee was roasted March 2025 and it's been sitting in that bag. And mold doesn't really need oxygen to grow. It grows slowly without oxygen. That's anaerobic, right? And so that stuff's growing in there. You're not killing all the mold when you roast it. Mold can actually survive extremely high temperatures. So that's what's going on with your coffee. And that's, all those. So if you get any of those negative effects, and that's what's making you want to give coffee up, that's not the coffee. That's old coffee. That's bad coffee. It's cheap coffee. It's pesticides on the coffee. And you just try our coffee and you'll see it's completely different. All right, what's my next item? We got an estate dark roast. So this is the higher grade of the coffee. This is less than 10% defects on this coffee. It's gonna be a little bit smoother than the Hawaiian coffee, a little bit less sweet though. Yeah, you can drink a lot of and the pea berry is stronger, Rachel. So if you can drink 3 cups of pea berry, you could probably drink 4 cups of the regular coffee. The pea berry is stronger. It's denser, so it's almost got more of that. It's more of the trigonally in the center of the bean. And the Kona estate has less than 10% defects. The Hawaiian has up to 30% defects. A defect is like a bean that the center line isn't right. The bean's ugly, isn't a perfect oval. The bean is misshapen. Maybe it has a little chip in it. Those are all defects. And that causes the bean to roast differently. It basically gives off um, more of the aroma. So this is the first grade of coffee we're allowed to call 100% Kona coffee, right? The Hawaiian coffee is 1464. The Kona coffee is 1664. So freezing the coffee will change the flavor just a little bit. And so if you're like an extreme coffee aficionado, you're like you want the only the best coffee. You're gonna drink your coffee within, 2 weeks of it being roasted. Then you don't want to freeze your coffee because it does degrade the coffee marginally. But if you're gonna drink your coffee after a month, then it's better to freeze it because at that month point the coffee starts going down. Whereas if you freeze it, it'll stay good for up to a year. So that's why it's like it depends on what you're valuing. If you're someone's gonna drink your coffee right away, you only buy enough coffee to drink for like 2 weeks, then yeah, you don't want to freeze it. But if you're like a typical person where maybe your coffee's gonna sit in a jar for up to 2 months, then you want to freeze it. That's why. Because freezing it does change that freshly roasted flavor just a little bit. So it depends, right? But ultimately, from if you're just a kind of an average coffee drinker, I would say freeze it. You got the 3 pounds. And the OG is really good for the OG is really good for people who want to make coffee drinks. If you're putting milk in your coffee, if you're making like, mocha, cappuccino, those types of things, OG is good enough. Like you can drink the OG. You're already removing most of the subtle flavors of the coffee by adding, you know, syrups and all that stuff. So you don't creamer. So you don't need to be drinking the higher grade coffees. The higher grade coffees is for to drink black or just if you want to treat yourself all the time. Whereas the OG, you drink it, throw milk and sugar in it, creamer, make your coffee drinks. That's what the OG is for. Even the OG is gonna be cleaner because it's all coming off the same trees. Yeah, all this coffee is coming off the same trees. It's just graded. So yesterday, I'm working with these guys from NASA and the Air Force now, and they charge me $2,000 for 4 hours of their time. So I'm like, all right, I can pay that, but and it's just to argue with me about some theory. I was like, oh my God, I need to just make sure I don't talk to you guys except when I need you. So I'm gonna slow the whole spaceship project down. We're gonna stretch it out. It's gonna be like Chinese water torture. So we're not getting spaceships anytime soon, guys. I'm just gonna drag this thing out. I've gotten so good at dragging things out in life because just gonna drag it out. All right, more white coffee. I'm gonna just run through each of my items. Do another giveaway here. And so if you guys are just joining me, I'm coming to you live from Hawaii. It's starting to sun is starting to rise here. That's the mountains where the coffee is grown. I'm gonna go back up there where our farm is. We have a 6-acre Kona coffee farm. All this coffee is freshly grown in the US. You guys want to do the OG, good call, guys. So I did have to just lower the size of the OG a little bit because the pound was, I wasn't factoring in the fact that we lose 20% when we roast the coffee. So it's like, but it is significantly cheaper than your uh your Hawaiian coffee, and I'll give you 12 ounces of that for $16. So the OG, you're gonna notice that there are more broken beans. I think it's up to 50% broken beans. Um, but this is coffee that's basically the same price as Pete's. Pete's these days is 10 ounces for like so. So I wanted to get something to you guys that you can replace your, Target coffee with, but still has the flavor of Kona coffee, still smooth, won't give you acid reflux, won't give you indigestion. Something that you can just put in your, coffee maker and make your mixed coffee drinks, make your, milk coffee, put your creamer in there, but won't give you that acid reflux, isn't moldy. These are the least dense beans, so they're not going to have that really buttery flavor that you get in the pea berry, but it's going to be sweet, it's going to be smooth, and it's going to be a higher quality than probably what you guys are. What's this going to flash sell to? Breakfast blend, the Hawaiian, the dark, definitely the dark roast. If you guys are drinking, or the medium roast, I think if you guys are drinking commercial coffees, you don't want to go lower than medium. Because the light roast, people are going to be like, this is weak coffee. It tastes like a tea. It's nutty. It's too mild for me. Because as you roast coffee darker, it becomes more water soluble. And so you extract more of the compounds into the water more easily. Yeah, you want to replace. You can reuse the grounds, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can add additional yeah, you can do anything that works for you, but generally speaking, you don't. Most people don't. I do have more turmeric tea. Did you guys start getting the turmeric tea yet? Turmeric tea is good stuff. That's made from the turmeric flowers, and no one has no. I don't think anyone in the whole world has this tea. They should have it. Oh, it says I'm out of stock. All right, I gotta reset that inventory. I'll be right back. How about that? As I just had to reset the inventory on my turmeric tea. Yeah, that's another defect in this program. I have tried dandelion tea. Turmeric tea is super sweet. It's It's as sweet as the coffee. It's just it tastes like a honeysuckle turmeric, and it's made from the flower of the turmeric tea. I mean, of the turmeric plant. So no one has it because you have to leave the turmeric in the ground for more than a year, sometimes 2 years before you get your first flower. So it's very hard to get this flower. And most turmeric flower farmers, they're gonna farm. They're farming it for the root. They're not gonna leave the root in the ground for 2 years and lose all this money. But I've actually kept my turmeric in the ground for 10 years now, so I just have tons of these flowers, and these have a really nice effect on your joints, all the benefits of turmeric, but it tastes great. It tastes like sugar water turmeric. It's so sweet that ants, if you leave the fresh flower out, ants just come and grab them. They love these flowers. So it tastes like a honeysuckle. It's like a honeysuckle turmeric. So if you guys like teas, this one's worth trying. It calms you down, it relaxes your body, it feels really great, and it tastes really good. You can cook with these. You can, try to someone said, "Oh, that was my only one. I'm retarded." Jesus Christ. That was retarded. That was stupid. All right, I'm gonna just do a temporary listing on these turmeric flowers because I don't want to have to stop the show again. I did just make another batch of these. These are freshly harvested yesterday, dehydrated in the dehydrator for 24 hours, and then it gets sent out to you. So this is some really fresh flowers. We have to keep them fresh, otherwise so you want to keep these in the freezer. You can make each stalk makes a full liter of tea. So you take a stalk and you put it in boiling water. Shipping can take up to a week. Sometimes when we screw up, it'll take even 2 weeks, but usually as short as 3 days. So there's kind of a range depending on how many people I could get in to help me pack the orders. It's actually a lot of work to pack these orders because you guys ordered like 20 different things, and it's not your fault, but it can take a little bit of time, so I apologize for that. Where's my turmeric? Freaking, here we go. Man, I'm freezing all over the place. Let me see if I can just. It is strongly anti-inflammatory. I gotta reset this thing again. My thing's messing up. Highly anti-inflammatory. Hey Dean, how you doing? And the technology these days, it's just stupid. Every time they improve the technology, everything gets slower. Because then they add the amount of data that they change the protocol. It's freaking annoying. Remember when the internet used to be fast? The more updates they give you, the slower it gets. It's like the Byzantine Empire. As things get more advanced, things just get more retarded. Becomes Byzantine. Such a cranky old man. MF Doc. Don't tell us that online. But, that's why I think anyway, we don't need to talk about it. All right, so this is yellow turmeric flower. I'm back, guys. So this is a sweet tea. It makes 2 full liters, about what is that, half a gallon. It makes a half a gallon of tea. You just take one of the stalks, boil it in a liter of water or a quart of water, and then you're gonna get this super sweet tea. That anti-inflammatory, super sweet. You can add ice to it, just an amazing iced tea. So much sugar. It's so sweet. It's gonna eat all day. You're also gonna notice it is calming and anti-inflammatory. Just it's actually pretty strong, so but it's highly calming, anti-inflammatory. I am listening to you guys. I like it when they listen to me. It's my only way of talking to everybody that I need to talk to. And it does work. I've always just felt like, the fact that the government is listening helps a lot. Like, because I don't need to call them. I could just go on here and start telling them what they need to hear. Like, NASA is freaking retarded. And they're ruled by these theorists. How do they even know the theory is true? Just they're retarded, you know. And then you got people in the government who investigated me for teaching Palestinians to build bombs. Like, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, who's making those reports? You got to put them on a watch list. Like, they're making you guys look disgraceful. But at some point, you got to say stop making false terrorism reports because that's a felony. So anyway, so I like it that they're listening. It's the only way I could get, because I can't. I feel weird calling them up on the phone and be like, "You guys are fucking retarded," but I can do that through here. You guys are fucking retarded. Like, you guys are fucking retarded. It's not their fault though. It's the government is reactive. So if your neighbor calls them and tells them that you're a terrorist, they have to come in hearted people. They did. And they told me that someone told them that I was teaching Palestinians to build bombs. I was like, "Are you?" They didn't believe it. They looked at me and they're like, "This is retarded." Told me who told them. So they're awesome. I love you guys. I love you guys. But stop. See, they're listening. All right, that's enough. They're like, "All right, Ed, we heard it. It's noted. Let's just go back to your show." All right, back to my show. Back to my show, guys. Back to selling coffee. Skinwalker Ranch. I have no idea. I have no idea who they are. Am I better? Am I back up? All right, see. You just gotta they communicate back too. That's how they communicate. Through silence, through weird pauses, through text messages. And I like it that way. We've got a whole language going on. I love that they're listening. I really do. I do appreciate the people in the government. They're like my classmates from school. They all thought I was crazy. I thought they were all retarded. The same because they know they can't trust the people you guys elect. S- they watch this show too, guys. Why coffee is anti-inflammatory? I'm kind of hungry. What's going on with that ranch? Skinwalker Ranch. Never heard of it. All right, my system froze again. I can't run any auctions. So I'm gonna have to reset one more time, guys. I'll be right back. My theory on scientists dying, and I only know this because they tried to do this to me, is when you're a scientist, the local mobs always put LSD in everything. They want to get you to tell them what you know. And so a lot of times when scientists die, it's because they committed suicide because they were on LSD and they can't handle it. Whereas me, LSD doesn't even do anything to me. So I'm just like, hit me. I got stuff to tell you guys. Hit me. But there might be other humans, like ancient Native Americans who are really advanced. I think, there's a lot of people who we don't know about who are more advanced than us. And anytime someone's more advanced than us because we're narcissists, we're like, "Oh, they don't exist." I don't know if they're even real, but it's pretty obvious that they're going to be humans who are way more advanced than us and maybe some dinosaurs. All right, let's see if we could actually run some auctions. Let's do some ounce mediums. I got the sun in my face. I'm, I'm just not getting the signal to run anything today, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's highly anti-inflammatory planty, and it's also analgesic, and it also specifically treats a lot of things. I just haven't been talking about it because I don't want the government to regulate me. So I'm just telling you it gets you high. But there's way more to it than that. All right, here's some medium estate in a 2 ounce bag. I'll run some white, yeah. So if you guys want to get what Planty's been getting, because they can't see your comments, they can only hear what I'm saying. Here's some white coffee. I got these 8 ounce bags of white for 30, 32. If you want a larger bag, here's the white. It really is. Yeah, it really is for me too. It helps with a lot of stuff. So here's 8 ounces. If you want the Hawaiian grade, just as strong, cheaper, you get it 12 ounces for like 26. But this is the highest grade that we have. This is the extra fancy, the white and extra fancy. I'm frozen again, Jesus. They're like, don't tell anyone that the white's good for you. Do another one of these. So this is the extra fancy and white. There, I'm not frozen again. It's not good for you. This is not going to cure anything. It's just to get high. It gives you a body high. This is the most caffeinated. They want to control the highs. I think more it's they want to control the money that goes to the local mobs, right? Because before, when weed was illegal, it meant that the local cops could let whoever they wanted sell weed. And so you would let certain people sell the weed to give them the money. But now that the feds are regulating it, now you can't give specific local people advantages. Right now, a lot of ex-military selling weed now, which is fine. That's just the way it is in America. It's to regulate the competition. Has nothing to do with And the people who, anyway, but that's what I think. All right, here's a bag of the white Hawaiian 12-ounce bag. It's all about the money. Just don't step on anyone's toes. I want everyone to make more money. And the white coffee helps with that because you eat more beans, you want to eat meat, you want to work harder, you want to give your wife a massage. It's like it helps everyone make more money. So this white coffee is good stuff. White coffee has this compounded trigonylene. So if you guys have questions about whether this is going to help this or that, just look up trigonylene on Google and then see if it'll help you. Trigonylene is the active compound in the white coffee. It's strong. And they like me selling coffee because there's a bigger coffee industry in America. And I'm telling you, no matter what coffee you drink, you're gonna be healthier. So drink more coffee. And we only produce 0.1% of the world's coffee. It's not enough to offset the rest of the coffee in the world. I only have the Hawaiian white and the extra fancy white. And they're just the bean quality difference. The Hawaiian white is, you know, kind of ugly when you roast it white. It because the beans aren't flat to begin with, so they kind of get all bumpy and stuff, and a little bit less smooth of a buzz. Whereas the extra fancy white, just the beans are perfect. They look amazing, and um, if you think about it, I see your guys' names when I send out your coffee. Most of you guys have family in the government. They're just your families. Complaining about your cousins. It's just your mom listening to you. It's not like it's communists listen to you. Maybe they are communists, but it's not like it's Arabs listening to you. It's just your family. It's just your cousins. Like the Hills, they're big in the government. Yeah. See? The Davies, they work for the government. I know you guys. I recognize all your names. Trying to make me think you guys aren't part of the government. Come on. You think I'm an immigrant or something. Here's 2 pounds of the white for 100. It's just the family. It's the family. It's all for the family. 2 pounds of white extra fancy. We got some Kona medium. This is the cream of the crop here. You can tell I'm starting to get off topic, so we're gonna wrap up the show a little bit. Probably got another 30 minutes or so. So get it. Get the cream of the crop here. Best coffee. If you guys just want to know what the best coffee tastes like the scores above a 90. Professional cuppers, just like almost the best coffee you can get anywhere in the world. This is the one you want to try. Dark Hawaiian. The things I say on this show crack me up. I'm in Hawaii. I'm in Hawaii. I'm on the big island of Hawaii. And we have an active volcano here. This volcano is constantly replenishing the soil, and that makes the beans here grow bigger, less bitter, more dense. It's just the full genetic potential of the coffee gets expressed here because micronutrients are the hardest part. No, no pot. No, they're watching me. Plenty. They're watching me. So I'm. You're watching me. I'm not gonna fall for that. We got some white coffee, 2-ounce bag of the sample. The white coffee makes you buzzed. You're gonna be flying when you drink this coffee. So happy. Everything's gonna be great. So, pothos. What is a pothos? Pot hose? You want me to throw you a pot hose? You gotta love those pot hose. I love those pot hose. They're the best. Plant. Sorry. The white coffee, guys, it throws you off. 2-ounce medium Hawaiian. I'm off now. I'm not selling any more coffee today. I'm just making making puns. It's punny. You know, in ancient English, you would switch the P's and the F's. They are potholes are expensive. You can P's were pronounced with an F, and F's were pronounced as P. It was like pff. So if it was pun, it was funny. So anyway, that was funny. Funny. You have some fought holes. Fought hose. Sorry guys. Uh Poop and food. Poop and food. No. Food and poop. Food. Food. Pood. You pooed your food. There you go. P's and F's. Switch to P's and F's. Switch to L's and the R's. It's kind of cool. It shows all the words that are related. Switch to L's, R's, and N's. Those are actually all the same. And then P's and F's. You can and you'll see all these words are related. Let's see. You got punny and funny. P and I don't know about on the farm, but I also have people working for me. I got, and then I also am part of a co-op. Working vacations. Looking to see what's needs to be harvested. Most of the people we used to do that, but then one of the people who we had do that wouldn't leave, and they started drugging us. They started putting fentanyl in the water, and no one would believe me. That's the problem. You know, when in America, when people do bad things, instead of believing the victim, they call them crazy. And I had to go to get drug tests and go to the doctor. And even after all that, my wife still wouldn't believe me. So I just banned. There's no people allowed in our house anymore because of that. Because even one problem, it's not so much that I don't like having drugs in the water. It's that I don't like it where my wife won't believe me. And so I stopped allowing people into our home. Yeah. It's tragic because we used to help homeless people. We got homeless people off their feet. We did all sorts of stuff, but then one guy just start. I don't know. He was putting drugs in our water because he wanted to have a party. I think he actually got married to one of the other, but he was just roofing everyone. And I'm very sensitive to drugs, so I know exactly, even in small little amounts, I know exactly what you put in there. And I was like, every time I eat dinner with this guy, it feels like I took a hit of MDMA. And the water makes me feel like I took some fentanyl. So it's like, this guy's out. I traced it. I spent months narrowing it down to see who it was, and I figured it out. And then he called the cops on me. He felt threatened. This is America. You got the criminals calling the cops on you. We're also not allowed to do that. I just told him, I was like, "Hey, I know you're drugging us," and I was like, "I don't really care. I don't mind myself because I love being high, but like, I only want to be high if I know I'm high, And he laughed at me, like, "Oh, no way, that's crazy." I was like, "Dude, from now on, I'm not eating meals with you." But then the problem became that my wife confronted them because I told my wife, these people are drugging us. And then she confronted them. She's like, Ed's doing, and then as soon as they got confronted, they bolted and they called the cops on me. For me, I'm just like, kind of hinted, beat around the bush, how Americans want to be. You never say anything directly. So that's how I handled it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, dude, if you want to do drugs with me, let's go do some drugs. But don't sneak around putting it in my food. So anyway, but as soon as my wife got involved, it turned into a disaster. They were like calling the cops on her, being like, I feel threatened. And I'm like, you guys are just like my wife. I don't want anything to do with you. I better I better check myself because she's in the other room. If she hears this, she's gonna be pissed. Okay, no more talking about that. So that's why I don't let people in my house. Mainly because I don't like the conflict. Because all these people, all these criminals love me, and they always want to get me in on their stuff. So they're like, they give me these winks and like they talk in code with me, and then when I tell my wife, she doesn't get it, and then they like treat her, make her think they're angels, and then I'm just like, I can't have this divide, I can't. I, I prioritize my family, so it's like I love you guys. You guys love to party. That's call them criminals, but they just love to party. And it's like I love you guys, but I just can't have this tension with my wife because over this, where you guys are winking at me and trying to get me involved in your shit. It's like I love it, but I can't. I'm just it's if you can figure out how to get her involved, then I'm down. But just until that happens and she just doesn't get it. Till that happens, I can't be around you guys. It's too much. And yeah, anyway, so that's we have 3 pounds of dark Hawaiian if you want some. 3 pounds of dark Hawaiian here. It's just too much. Have you guys ever had that? You guys ever get that where you got a bunch of criminals trying to get you involved, but then to your significant other, they know she's not gonna get it, or they try and she just doesn't get it because she has never done anything bad in her life, so she just doesn't get it. You guys ever have that? No, never happened to you. You're like that. Is that why you have tension with your wife, MF Duck? I also tell them, the government's watching me. I'm like a government agent. So, like, you don't want to tell me your crimes. Just leave me out of it. I want to think you guys are fucking angels. And I tell everyone that when I meet them and they think I'm crazy. And this way, because I'm so upfront about it, I just tell them, I'm a government agent. Don't tell me anything. And they don't believe me. They start telling me everything. I'm like, what are you doing? But then later on, they can't be mad at me because I'm like, I told you. I told you from the very beginning. I told you, guys. I told you from the very beginning, and you thought I was crazy, and now you did. Don't ever let her find out, or is anxiety trained. That's why. That's why you can't even talk to your wife, MF. Can't even talk to her. Good morning. Good morning to my Native American brothers. All right, we got some medium. So I think no one's buying any more coffee from me. We got a medium Hawaiian 12-ounce bag. I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling better. I was sick last week, but now I'm feeling really good. So I'm starting to heal up, and that's problematic, right? Then you try to tell your husband, and he doesn't believe you. He's like, "Oh, you're paranoid," and then now you got tension. Like, "Oh, you just don't. You're the one who has weird intentions." And it's just like, I'm just not gonna tell you anything. How you doing? What red, white, and blue? Exactly. You write it down on a piece of paper, fold it up, date it, and then later you can be like, "See, I told you, I called it." But that's not gonna help either, right? Just nothing helps. It's not gonna change anything. They're gonna go on doing the same thing over and over again. Even think you're like trying to be better than them. You're trying to make them feel bad or something. So it's just you have your friends, I got my friends. We don't interact. If you're one of my wife's friends, I'm not talking to you. I don't want to be your friend because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with that BS. Strict divide. Chinese wall. There's a Chinese wall between me and my wife, and it's better that way. All right, guys. You guys got any last requests? I'll be back at the farm at 10. But if you guys got any requests, let me know. Any requests? Anything you guys want? Maybe I'll run some auctions. Let's do a $1 auction on the dark. How about that? Nah, I don't even. How about we do some $1 auctions on the OG? I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Chocolate nibs, another story. You gotta prompt it. I don't know exactly what stories we talked about. We talked about the drug dealers in my house. Talked about them drugging me. Talked about aliens already. $6. See, Sandon, doesn't matter what I price it at. But if I make them lower amounts, I lose less money when they go bad. So that's why I have to have lower amount listings on whatnot. I think I give you guys too many choices. That's the good thing about communism is you don't have any choice, right? I give you two choices. You don't have to spend all this time thinking about what you want, regretting that you didn't get the right one. I give you 10 choices. You don't know what to buy. So that's why communism is better. You give you two choices, you pick one, and you're done. You don't waste all this time. I have to waste all this time explaining things to you. Just two choices. That's it. Look at this. I got 20 items in my shop. I don't even know what I'm selling anymore. Prices keep changing. One day to another, price keeps changing. Why do we get married, Rumpy? We choose not to be free. I don't want to be free. I want someone. I'm used to not being free. I wish someone told me, "Hey Ed, you're not free." Growing up, I'd be in so much better shape. I'd have a career. I'd be making a lot of money. Instead, I thought we were free. I was like, "Oh, I'm free. Let me go oppose the politicians and be free." And now you got every guy on the street telling me, Just shut up. It's like, shut up, Ed. Stop being so free. You should have just told me that in the first place. I got a lot of issues. What are your neighbors like? Yep, we're surrounded by farms, small 6-acre farms all over. Neighbors are cool. They remind me of the people who I grew up with in New Jersey, honestly. So, neighbors are good. Fit right in. The people here remind me more of people from New Jersey than New York City. When I was in New York City, those people were weird. I didn't feel they were weird. But everyone here is just like growing up around people from New Jersey. Be back home. I decided to switch. I wanted to switch it up a little bit because usually on my show I talk about how shitty communism is. I thought I'd maybe put it up, switch it around and tell you communism is the way to go. I just want to keep it changing. Keep the show fresh. You guys are sick of hearing about how bad communism is. Let's talk about how great it is. You know what the real trouble is these days on TikTok? It's owned by Americans, but run by communists, right? So now you're really in trouble because when they don't like you. But now you get every single rule gets enforced, so you can't do anything. You can't say anything. We're in big trouble now, right? Now you got communists enforcing the rules for Americans. That's just, it's over. Yeah, neither do I. Neither do I. It's basically like your wife is in charge of everything. We're already in common, right? It's basically like you can't say anything. You can work as hard as you want, but all the money goes to your wife. She spends all of it. You don't keep any of it. It's never enough money. But it's like having. All right, guys. I think I should go. I'll be back later. So thanks for joining me today.